So this next question comes to us from an entrepreneur, and what they're asking is, why should they be analyzing patent trends? So it's not uncommon as you're thinking about either moving into a new product space or maybe entering in a particular market to do a patent landscape study. And that's where they'll break down what you're doing presently and what you might do in the future into categories, and then see who is putting down patent landmines in those categories. So there's certain areas where you just can't enter them unless you already have a patent portfolio, or you're building one with some disruptive technology that everybody might want to cross-license with you. There's just areas you really can't enter very easily. So I would say semiconductor fabs, there's tons of patents in those spaces. If you just bought some equipment and started making chips and invested all that money, you would very quickly find out that you're infringing a lot of patents. Inkjet printers, right? There's just a few manufacturers in that space. You enter that space with something, maybe you're able to produce it cheaper because most of the components are commoditized today. You could reverse engineer the formulations for their ink and so forth. But I would expect that you're very quickly going to find this barrier to entry that they've created, right, with their patent portfolios, their defensive patent portfolios. So it's just kind of good to know before you invest a lot of money. Or what you might want to do when you're looking at trends is to see if you're filing enough patents. I always get this question. And I warn clients, I say, well, why would you ask me that? I have a moral hazard because part of my business is writing and procuring patents for clients. So why would you ask a vendor if you need more patents, right? Because their pocketbook may speak better than their ethics in answering that honestly. So often what I'll do is I'll recommend that they do a landscape study, or they look at trends to see what others are doing in that space. And there's some spaces where just people don't file any patents. And you see almost no litigation. You see that in the automobile space. Maybe it's happening in the background and I'm just not hearing about it, but you're just not seeing the litigation. A lot of people build up portfolios should there be some litigation or to increase their enterprise value, but you don't see the litigation. And if you're not seeing litigation, maybe filing patents are less important there, unless you have a strategy to use those patents to leverage your way into some outcome you want. So knowing those trends, right? Like you might wonder if a particular technology is getting traction in your space. So AI, everybody's talking about AI now. And it takes a little while for these patents to publish, but you might be saying, well, for my particular space, is AI that important? And you could look to see at the patent filings to see if they're increasing or decreasing, to get an idea on whether or not people are hiring engineers and developers and scientists to figure things out, which generally correlates with patent trends. So patent filings can be a very good indicator of where people are trying to solve technological problems. And they often don't advertise that fact. Knowing that they're spending money in that area and that a lot of people are spending money in that area might make you consider whether or not you want to also invest in that area so that you can keep up with the competition. So filing trends will tell you that sort of thing. So it's very common, and I recommend it, to get a sanity check on what's going on with your patent portfolio, whether you're filing enough or not, and then what are the hot trends that people are truly pursuing, not just talking about or in licensing of technology, right? As people talk about AI all the time, but are they just using one of the commercial GPT models and sending queries there, or have they hired a team of AI engineers, right? Because you might react differently in those two circumstances. So I hope that answers the question. You're welcome to put additional questions in the comments here. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.